Wishmaster 2, The Devil in Prison, full scene breakdown and analysis. Headline: When the devil is locked up, the prison becomes hell on earth. Body. In this episode of Hollywood Insiders, we are putting the spotlight on a cult classic horror villain. The Djinn from Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, 1999. Museum. The Djinn assumes its human persona, Nathaniel Demarest, and surrenders to the police. Morgana later savagely beaten by his own underlings. Demarest is temporarily sent to solitary, suspected of instigating a spate of recent troubles at the prison. Meanwhile, Morgana researches Persian mythology, particularly the Persian deity Ahura Mazda, who had bound the Djinn in the past. Morgana opens up to Gregory, telling him about her nightmares in which a voice tells her to fulfill the prophecy, and she tells of her involvement in the robbery and the murder of a guard. Morgana goes to the prison to visit Demarest and demands to know why he falsely confessed to the robbery. He says it was so she would not have to, and admits to not having to be in prison long, before showing his true form, driving Morgana away. Later that evening, Morgana begins undergoing many rituals aimed at purifying her soul, as only someone pure of heart can banish the Djinn back into his prison. Meanwhile, Demarest kills the prison warden, Tilliver, and escapes with a Russian inmate he befriended named Osip. As Demarest drinks with Osip, Morgana enters and shoots Demarest, but he is unaffected by the wound. She leaves in despair. Gregory finds Morgana praying at the church altar and sobbing inconsolably. She laments that her guilt, the blood of the innocent man she killed at the museum heist, can never be washed away, and so she can never hope to defeat the Djinn. Gregory has compiled more notes, discovering that the Djinn is seeking 1,001 souls. He also finds the incantation used by the alchemist who imprisoned the Djinn. In Las Vegas, the Djinn begins granting wishes to Casino patrons to collect the remaining required souls. When Morgana and Gregory confront Demarest, Gregory wishes for the Djinn to be sent back to hell. They are all transported inside the fire opal where Gregory is crucified. Morgana angrily wishes for a world without evil. The Djinn says without evil, good cannot exist. Morgana asks the Djinn the meaning of fulfilling the prophecy. The Djinn impatiently recites the prophecy to her, that after 1,001 souls are gathered, the one who wakes the Djinn shall have 3 wishes. Upon the granting of all 3, the race of Djinn will reign over the earth. Morgana wishes for the guard she killed to be alive again. After receiving a vision of the guard alive and well, her pureness of heart restored, she takes the Djinn's fire opal and speaks the alchemist's chant, Nib Shigarath Bomb. The Djinn is again banished into the opal, and all the victims are returned to life. Cast, edit, Holly Fields, Morgana Truscott, Andrew Divoff, the Djinn slated to return as the Djinn and Jack Schroeder attached to write and direct. Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies premiered on cable television on March 12, 1999, before being given a straight-to-video release in the United States on April 27, 1999. The film received mainly negative reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 9%, based on reviews from 11 critics. During his interview for the documentary, Behind the Curtain Part to 2012, writer and director revealing that he is in fact a she, Holly Fields. Morgana is in pain but finds that the fire opal stopped the bullet. She tells her partner that the gem was inside the statue. Suddenly, the gem sizzles, burning Morgana's hand and forcing her to drop it, where it splits in 2. The first guard arrives on scene to confront the 2 young thieves. the male thief. Eric Chris Weber grabs his, but the guard is ready and him twice. In desperation, Morgana grabs Eric's and the guard. Tearfully, she bends over Eric. We see that they are lovers, who tells Morgana to leave him and run. Morgana does not want to do this, but finally Eric gets her to flee the museum. Under cover of darkness, she avoids notice from arriving police and escapes. In the meantime, as Eric lay at the foot of the steps, the shattered fire opal begins to pulse and squish, changing in size and shape. An amorphous mass begins to emerge from one of the halves. A tendril shoots out from this mass, hitting the wall a mere few inches from Eric's head. He squirms away in bewildered fear as the mass flows up the tendril onto the wall. A hideous, demonic face emerges from the amorphous mass clinging to the wall and addresses Eric by name, saying it can help him. Eric watches fearfully as the rest of this demonic form squirms out of the mass on the wall and touches down on the ground, crawling toward him on short, stubby arm-like appendages tipped with claws. Speaking seductively, the demon tells Eric that it can give him life everlasting, or just end his pain if he wishes for it. In grievous pain from his wounds, Eric says that he wishes he had never been born. The demon says, "As you wish," and Eric begins to scream in pain. His body convulses as it rapidly goes through reverse aging, growing younger every few seconds. Soon he is a mere infant crying loudly, and finally even the infant is gone, leaving only his black clothing behind. The demon stares and growls the word, "Done." As the police enter the museum, the demon finishes forming into full size, revealing the Djinn Andrew Divoffs. He gestures and the two halves of the fire, opal, fly up to his hands and mend together into a single jewel. One of the police officers encounters the Djinn and orders him to freeze. Smiling wickedly, the Djinn says done, and the police officer's whole body freezes solid, becoming coated with a layer of ice. Looking at the fire opal, the Djinn says that the time has come to fulfill the prophecy. Two more officers encounter the frozen one and then see the Djinn, who has donned Eric's clothing and taken human form. The Djinn surrenders to the police without any resistance and is led away. Morgana is safe at home, crying as she cleans her gun. She looks at a picture of Eric and is seized by a moment of grief-induced fury. She hurls the picture away from her and kicks over a night table before collapsing to her knees in bitter tears. The next morning, the Djinn, as Nathaniel Desmarais, is being questioned by a police detective. Desmarais is taking the rap for the burglary and murders, saying he acted alone, even though he cannot produce the murder weapon, nor the stolen paintings. The detective knows he is lying and is innocent of the crimes. He pushes to find out who Desmarais is covering for. Desmarais is elusive on this, finally just inviting the detective to tell him what he'd like, and Desmarais would be happy to oblige. He asks in an inviting tone if the detective wishes that his job were more exciting, losing his temper. The detective chews Desmarais out and has an officer take him away. Morgana is watching the news on TV in her kitchen as she fixes a meal for herself, and watches in disbelief as the reporter discusses the art gallery robbery, and how a mysterious man named Nathaniel Desmarais has pleaded guilty to the robbery, and the murder of 2 security guards during said robbery. The reporter mentions that nobody understands. The TV screen shows the damaged Persian statue, disclosing its name as Ahura Mazda, after an ancient Persian deity. Museum curators are confident that the damage to the statue can be repaired. The reporter also shows the family of the security guard Morgana killed. The guard has left a widow and 2 young children. Morgana breaks into tears again as she turns away from this coverage.